All right, so I'm going to come to you with a little bit of a tour of what I've got going on. I'll start at the top and hope the camera picks up everything with the lights the way they are and there's not as much reflection. All right, so in this tank I've got a pair of Moscow blue guppies. And I don't know if this camera's going to do well as far as getting a shot of them. The lighting on this tank is not great. I'm using a lot of used equipment from my collection. And so the lighting's not going to be great in this tank, but it's a pair in there. They're really beautiful. I got them from Guppy Train. And in this tank, I've got 2 clown loaches that are just about ready to come out of quarantine. Of course, they're hiding back there under the filter. That's all that's in this tank. You can see them there. All right, so on the top row, I've got, let's see, 5 tins on this rack. The other 3 are empty at this point. We're going to continue going down. I've got a little bit of space here that I'm probably going to keep empty just for storage, unless I put some kind of holding tank right there on the side. It's only about 6 inches. This is not completely even, and so I don't know if I want to try to battle putting a tank over this, but you know us, I probably will. Now these are more blue Moscows that I purchased from another individual, and got these off eBay. And let me see if I can get this thing to focus in. I'll pause the video. Hold on, I'm gonna try to get a ladder and get up there so I can get a better picture. Okay, I'm back now. So maybe this will allow me to get a better shot of him pooping. All right. So these are more blue Moscows, and he is dropping a pretty good load right there. As you can see, they just vacuumed the tank out yesterday. I apologize, but they're eating good and pooping good. So as you can see, he has got some really good colors on him. And I'm going to eventually combine the groups, but I got them separated just to see what they throw off first. And I want to try to get some, of course, the best males out of the 2 groups to breed. But anyway, so that's 2 males and 3 females in this tank. The other female is, I think she's back here behind the plants. So I'm experimenting with this camera. Forgive the poor autofocus. Okay, blue Moscows. This tank is Nebula Steel Guppies. I might have to try a different lens on these tanks. Again, y'all please forgive me if the focus is not working right. These I bought off eBay as well. And they're beautiful. I'm talking about beautiful. I love the strain of guppy. They've got that metallic body. I just want to focus on the female in the back and the football game in the background instead of the guppies right in front of it. I'm going to try a different lens or something on this, I guess. Let me do that. Alright, so these are Nebula Steel Guppies. As you can see, if my camera will... Oh, he doesn't have a lot of metallic on him, the male. But other ones like this male here, I can get it to focus. There we go. He has a beautiful shimmer on him. There we go. So these are the Nebula Steel Guppies. The next is the Red Mosaic Dragon. Now if you notice on him, the male has got a protruding anus that has, what do you call it, prolapsed anus. Female looking good, male, he's holding in there. I've medicated and medicated, and I've got the LED reflection there, I'm sorry. There we go. You can see right there, he has got a, let me get the, I'm manually focusing this in for y'all, so I say I am. You see that prolapsed anus coming out. So I've treated him, and it's a beautiful fish, but he sure is hurting. Makes me hurt looking at him. All right, these are the disco blue neon guppies. All right, they're hiding out in the back. Of course, usually right up here in the front, but like anytime we break out a camera, they're gonna be the ones hiding. Come on up here. There we go. Male and female. Got half black bodies and a real pretty blue tail. I'm playing with manual focus, so y'all bear with me as I play with this camera. So that's them in the back. Let's see if the angle's any better. There we go. I'm gonna try filming from my iPhone later and see if the footage is any better. Doubt it. For some reason it wouldn't autofocus. This is my nebula stills. I'm gonna separate the boys that I don't want to breed right now out and put them in a separate tank. I'm gonna move down to the second row. All right, so second row. I'm gonna put it back on manual focus and let's see what the automatic focus and see what it does. Second row has our silver dollars. This is a 20 long quarantine. It won't be quarantined later. I'm moving these guys into the 75, but got a red Oscar. I got 6 silver dollars in this tank, and they're clean. They've been ready to go for about a week. About a week now. I just love a healthy, thick silver dollar in the tank going back and forth, and I just love my Oscar. I had 2 beautiful Oscars before I had to move. This 20 long has got 2 more clown loaches that I bought at a different time, and they're in the back and swimming back there. Nothing really to see. They're very hard to pick up. In this tank I've got some German blue rams. Let's pick up the Cory. Yeah, the Cory cats are in the back. I've got 3 of the white Corys. I'm not really familiar on their names, so I apologize. My 2 rams are hungry. They're ready to eat. I've already got another ram that's been living in my 55 for about 3 months now, and those are going to go and join that one. So I got a female in there. Let's see if I can get a picture of my... I'm ordering new lights. I have to apologize for the lighting, but in the back there is a red Spotum severum. Come on, focus in on him. Not wanting to focus. But I just got through treating this tank with General Cure. Water's still a little bit cloudy. And under here I've got some Synodontis multifascius. Is that how you say it? I got 3 of them. So in all I got 5 Corys in this tank, 3 multifascius Synodontis multifascius, excuse me. And the red spotted severum. In this tank I've got my South American freshwater puffers. I've got 6 of those, and they come out of quarantine also, and they're going to be ready to go into a planted tank soon when I get through moving all these quarantine tanks around. But they've been eating really good. I got one who's not getting as much of the food as I would like. And I've treated this tank. I think it's this little guy right here. Very active, it just don't seem to eat as much. In this tank, I don't know if they're going to come out. I'm going to slaughter the name, but I've got the Birchir, B-I-R-C-H-I-R, in there. And I've got a fire eel, fire track eel, fire eel. And the fire eel, you can see part of him right under that log, that driftwood. He's laid sideways up in there. And I just now got him to where he'll eat krill. Freeze-dried krill. And if I tap on the glass, he usually comes out. I fed him out of my hand once. He was very leery, but he did do it. And he's wanting to be camera shy, of course, right now. The Birchir here. Let's see if I can get him. I know I'm mispronouncing that name, but he is back in between the 2 filters right there. And I can't get him. Maybe he'll come back up in a minute. Planted tank with nothing in it right now, just a 10-gallon planted with some ram's horn snails in there. Got them on the glass right there. Another planted tank. This has got ghost shrimp in it. No, it's hard to pick these guys up on camera. They're right here in front. You can barely see them. There's one. There's one. Which they're clear, and it makes it extremely hard to get footage of them. See, the camera's having a hard time. Got Eco Complete. Got plenty of cover in there. Guppy grass in here. I went through a bad cyno attack on this tank. Something was bad off on this tank as far as the cycle. It took way longer to cycle this tank, and I had Eco Complete. And I don't know, it just kind of took forever to go through a cycle. As you can see, that cyanobacteria algae all over my guppy grass, and it's starting to make a little bit of a comeback. You can see the green tips coming out right there. See, it came into focus there. It's making a comeback, but man, and then the hornwort, water sprite, excuse me, the water sprite that I dropped a clipping over in there is starting to root out too. So seems like, and you can see the snails are doing a little bit of work in here. I put some snails in here, ram's horn snails. I got one that looks like it died back there. He might be just turned over and he can't get up, but I think he's dead. Ordered those on eBay, and they did pretty good compared to the last one. And then the last tank on this row is my 10-gallon cherry red shrimp, cherry shrimp. And I've had a time with this tank as well, but it's my own fault, I believe. I did the typical noob thing. I think I put them in here way too soon, and of course started watching a bunch of Mark's shrimp tanks videos and figured out that, you know what, I should have had this tank up and running for 3 or 4 months before I put in anything. And so anyway, so I got plenty of algae and grass and swassertang growing in there, and I got an anubias floating back there, and I got my leaves, and I just dropped this leaf in here the other day, and it's gonna eventually sink. So let's go down to lavender mosaic guppies from the guppy train. And it's hard to get these in that kind of light. Let me see if I can move my light up a little bit, if that'll help out. There we go. Get y'all in the focus here. Anyway, these are lavender mosaics. As you can see, he was experimenting with some purple mosaics, and they just kept coming out a little bit lavender. So he said these should throw some purple mosaic and lavenders, and I like that lavender color. As you can see, they're doing pretty good. These are the purple haze mosaic sulfur head, and I got a male and female of this one. I apologize, these are the low tanks, so it's a little harder for me to see what y'all are getting on camera. And they're in the back, but they got a silver sulfur head and got a purple tail on the female, and the male's got a couple different colors. Hard to get those, they're stayed to the back. I don't know why, they're a little bit more shy. This tank is some more ghost shrimp I ordered. I would like to see them breed, but I was going to get them to feed the eel and the puffers. And you can see it's just a bare bottom tank. And actually this tank I think is doing better than the planted tanks as far as keeping them alive. Here's another planted with a little bit of Eco Complete, what I had left out of a bag with some Java moss, shrimp house, and a sponge filter. And that's more ghost shrimp, and it's hard to pick these up out of this tank. Now, the rest of the tanks are empty. So you got a 20, a 10, and 3 29s. And they're all empty right now. They got filters, and they've been cycling for several weeks, and they should be about done now. I hadn't checked this week on the water parameters. Now I'm going to show you this tank over here, this big old bright tank. That's my 75. Water is tanning a little bit in there with those pieces of driftwood. But this is a I forgot the name of the rock company that did the background. It's the rock that you can buy. It's a 3D background insert. Just went blank. But anyway, got 2 Aqua Clear 110s on this one. And I got 2 sponge filters in there. Got a heater. It's not plugged up right now. I don't need it right now. And I used pool filter sand as my substrate. And I'll put a couple pieces of driftwood over on this corner, and this is where my Oscar is going to go, and the eel is going to go, and the silver dollars. So, and down below is where my second 75, whenever it comes in, it'll sit below here. And then I got 2 empty 40 breeders right here on the stand I built. And they're going to go actually against the wall from here to here. Perfect fit right here. TV will be above them. They'll be pushed up against the wall, and eventually I'll build some small rack right here for maybe some 5 gallon or 2.5 gallon breeding for guppies. I'll put a little small rack right here, not big. So, going on down, you can see, let me turn on the light so we can see a little bit better now. Walk with me in the dark. Alright, so you can see I've got my Gemco pump here, and I made a little sink area for my water changes. I got that 44 gallon brute filled with water that's aged and ready to go. I do all of my water changes out of that 44 gallon brute. I've got chloramine and chlorine in our water here, and so I've typically always done that. Aged it, aerated it, and gone. Got my air loop going around the room, all the way up and back around. And eventually what I want to do is to come in right here where the sink actually is and cut a hole in right there for a door, and then expand and do another room out behind here, so I can have more room for my tanks and my business. So this is a look at my fish room. Like I said, I've got 29 tanks going now, counting the ones that are inside. I got a 10 and a 55 going inside. And then I'll have another 75 gallon going in there, and then I'm going to do a small rack of breeders for pairs of guppies to go in, or the fry. I haven't made my mind up. So that is, oh yeah, and as far as equipment, what I'm running right now, I'm buying the lights off eBay, the LED lights, and they seem to be working really well. I was really leery at first because when they first came out they were worth crap, but I hadn't had any issues with them. I'm going to hang them. Right now I'm trying to figure out what sizes I need and what are the best light configurations for what I want to see. And I'll move some of these smaller ones up to the top row of guppies, because all I need up there is enough light to keep my floating plants alive, and hornwort pretty much will grow under very little light, so I don't have to worry about that. And then I need to order lights for down on the bottom rack. There's no lights on this side. And this side I'm just using leftovers from when I had my other 20 some odd tanks. I sold some of my equipment with the tanks that I sold back when I was selling all my equipment, but I've got a combination of T8 and T5 high outputs on these tanks now down here, just to have light to feed and view and stuff like that. So same thing with up here. This is just one single. All right, so I'm gonna finish the video here. My memory card filled up, and I didn't notice it until after I got through recording, or I thought I was recording. So picking up where I left off in the video, I was running just one T5 lamp, T8 lamp, excuse me, on the top row of tanks where my guppies are, and that will be, you know, changed over to LED soon. So that's my fish room right now. I'll show you my 55 and my 10 gallon quarantine tank inside on another video. Hope you enjoyed it. Appreciate you liking, sharing, and subscribing if you haven't done so. Follow me on Instagram, Tropical Fish Success. I'm on Twitter, Tropical Fish Success, or no, I'm sorry, it's at LFS Feed. So you should see the link though. If you go to my About page here on YouTube, you should see all the links to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, okay? So appreciate you watching, liking, sharing, subscribing. And until next time, y'all change water, have a good time, enjoy your fish.